Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Golden Goal TV. Well, the World Cup is finished. The champions have been crowned. So has the third place. The one everyone wants to win, of course. And this is our last show before Christmas. Before we go on holidays like everyone else. So let's go off with a bang. Let's get to the panel first. He's back. Mr. Abdi, how's it going?
I'm doing well, my friend. How you doing?
I'm not bad, not too bad, not too bad. Trying to get rid of this very fashionable cold at the moment that everyone seems
Yeah,
to.
yeah, it's been going around. I feel like I had it start of the month-ish, but I'm doing okay. So
Keeps coming back, the damn
hope you
thing.
feel better soon, my friend.
Yeah, Lemsip's on the go, my friend. Lemsip's on the go, back in the production chair. You've not been on for a while, have you, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I actually had to go on to StreamYard earlier and make sure that I knew where everything was because it's been actually that long. So
It's
yeah,
funny. There'll be changes in the production area which we can't mention as of yet, but yeah, I need to look at that our StreamYard setup. So yes, things will be happening in January, as you will find out. Well, in January. So yes, we will talk the World Cup. We'll briefly talk the semi-finals, I guess. Obviously, the main topic will be the final. But of course, I know we all also want to talk about the third place playoff as well. So
Absolutely not.
we'll get on to the exciting banger that was that. Well, it was more exciting than I gave it credit, but hey. Let's brush over the semi-finals because we were supposed to do it, but we then had to change plans. So, I mean, Abdi, talk about both semi-finals straight away because I don't think you could. I don't think it makes sense doing it game by game by game, because
Yeah,
results in both semi-finals were pretty much as expected. I mean, Morocco were only going to get so far.
unfortunately, yes. I'll start off with the Argentina one though first. Argentina, Croatia. Um, I would have expected a little bit more from Croatia. I didn't think it'd be as convincing for Argentina. I thought Argentina would still get through regardless, but I think Croatia were just a bit disappointed, and Argentina was just that much better. And in that semi-final, I don't think anyone would have gone against Argentina really, except if you're Croatian. But even then, come on. I mean, you knocked out Brazil, sure, well done. That was a good one for them. Penalty experts, but uh, I would have loved to actually seen them against Argentina, um, in a penalty shootout because both of them two, yeah, I think they're probably both the two best sides at penalties at this tournament. So, but all in all, a convincing win for Argentina, 3-0 in the end, I believe.
Yep.
And yeah, and the France Morocco game, I was rooting for Morocco, and I really wanted them to do well. Um, Unfortunately, France got the early goal, then sat back and just defended. Morocco had chances and chances, but they just couldn't finish. And ultimately, in the end, France just hit them with a second goal, and that was game over. And not much else to say on that. Well done to them, to Morocco though, for the whole process. Not even just the tournament, the grueling process to qualify from Africa is very tough in itself. But and then to make it all the way to the semi-finals, the first African side to do so, you know.
Don't forget
So
the third place
massive
playoff.
props. They didn't win it, unfortunately. Spoiler alert, but yeah, they didn't win it. If they'd won it, then afterwards it would have been the best finish from an African nation without actually winning the cup itself. But it will still always be for now at least, the best finish from an African nation.
Yeah, I think for me, quickly to jump into both semi-finals, Argentina, Croatia. I was disappointed. That A, Croatia didn't take it to extra time, and B, they didn't take it to penalties. Honestly, I wanted to see the Burnley of international football get knocked out.
I want to actually comment on this. Sorry, we need to stop throwing shade on Burnley.
Well, no,
We
to be
need
fair,
to stop throwing shade on Burnley.
they made Croatia make Burnley look like Bayern Munich, my friend. Is what I'll say.
Nah, but Burnley have changed. Literally, I think a lot of people be in a shock. Watch the game on Wednesday. Man United, Burnley, Carabao Cup. I know it's the
You
Carabao
think
Cup,
Burnley will
but
go
still,
through?
It's going to be a tough one, honestly. The way Vincent Company's got them playing, they're beating teams left, right, and centre. They
And the
top of
championship,
the
though.
top of the table. Yeah, no, I know, but top of the table in the championship with all the players they lost as well, and all the young players they brought in. They're playing a different kind of football. They're not being. It's not Sean Dyche ball. They're playing fluid football, attractive football. It's the complete opposite of Burnley.
Invincible.
So Company ball.
I don't think there's too much that we need to worry about. I can't obviously see where all our viewers come from, but I don't think there's a massive percentage of Burnley fans that just tune in every
Comment
week.
from a Burnley fan.
Hey.
You said that.
You watch.
Okay.
But yeah,
Burnley,
let's
beware.
respect Burnley. Let's respect them.
Beware
But
of
also
the
respect
Burnley.
Croatia as well, because it's not that easy to get to a World Cup semi-final.
Well,
you know,
it's
back to
what I
back
said-
especially.
It's what I said about Croatia. As a neutral fan, they're incredibly frustrating to watch. As a Croatia fan, you don't care. They don't,
Yeah,
they don't care. The Croatia fans don't care how they get to where they get, as long as they get there.
yeah. What I will say on Croatia as well. Sorry to interrupt again, but their defense rock solid. Their midfield rock solid. Their goalkeeper rock solid. Their forward. No. They just can't score enough goals. That's their downfall. If they had a goal scorer, if they had someone like Lewandowski in that team, that'd be dangerous. Croatia would be dangerous because you look at that team: Modric, Brozovic, Kovacic, and they've got Gvardiol at the back. They've got Levakovic. Juranovic was balling out right back. They've got a banging team. It's just respect to Kramaric, but you need a bit more.
The only thing is, I guess, with Modric and Brozovic, they're coming towards the end of their career, so they haven't.
Unfortunately, yeah, but Modric was like a fine wine, man. Like a fine wine.
Modric still got it. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
Modric still got it. I don't doubt he'll probably be there for the next one for sure.
Well, they've got
We'll
the
see.
Euros.
He'll be like 40 something.
I wouldn't be
I
surprised
wouldn't
if he
be
features the
past him.
Euros. But
We'll see.
yeah, has to say with that one, disappointed it didn't go extra time and penalties, but Argentina got through, which you expected. Morocco, France. I mean, if they beat France, it would have been even more embarrassing than France losing to Switzerland in the Euros. But yeah, France got through. Not much more to say really on that. Sam, what did you think of the semi-finals before we move on to the banging third place playoff?
So the first semi-final, obviously, I didn't watch, but I just watched the highlights, and I think Croatia had been riding their luck a lot. They'd fought out the results, yes, but they got extremely lucky to get to penalty shootouts every time. So yeah, that was just what it was. It was just, it looked from the highlights just domination. But the other game was not so close, and Morocco should have scored quite a few times. To be fair, they had the chances to, and some really gilt-edged chances as well. If they had scored, it's completely different. But there's one moment that it changed. They brought on Turan, and that changed the game completely because it gave them a physical outlet that France don't normally have, and we saw that as well in the final. We found that they've got a different edge. So yeah, that was my thoughts really. I think it probably goes the best run of a team, I think, in World Cup history is Morocco's kind of run, because nobody would have ever put them down to go that far. So I think I'd go and say that.
No easy team as well in their way. No easy team.
Mhm.
Belgium, Spain, Portugal, then the reigning world champions France. If they'd gone past them, then Argentina. It was literally a who's who of the top nations in football.
Yeah, literally. I mean, they've not had an easy path at all.
Exactly.
And, ideally, a lot of people were rooting for them in the first place playoff. Unfortunately, they didn't win it. It was Croatia that won 2-1. Not much to say really on it. A lot of people probably thought Croatia will win it because Morocco could only get so far. I think all I have to say on that one is it was a bit more exciting than I thought it would be, because the original game between these two sides in the group was 0-0 in 20 minutes. So, yeah, not much to say. Croatia finished third, Morocco finished fourth. Let's move on to what we really want to talk about, and then move on to the final.
Mm-hmm.
And It was a final. It was not not one. It wasn't one of these boring finals. It
Not a
was.
traditional one.
Well, I'd
Excuse me.
argue that I wouldn't say it was boring at the start of the game, but until France scored, it was very one-sided. It was
It
all up.
was, but to be honest, I mean, Abdi, I'll ask you first. Do you think France just, for most of that game, it looked like France literally didn't turn up for the first 70 minutes, in my opinion.
They just didn't look at it. They looked out of it. They didn't look hungry enough. They didn't look fit enough. I know there was something going on with them in terms of there was a
There
virus
was a
outbreak
virus
within
in the camp, apparently.
the camp. I believe Giroud had knocked his knee as well. So in that sort of stage and setting, if that many people are affected by it, you're carrying too many passengers. And one man that certainly wasn't affected was Kylian Mbappe. You know, I'll circle back and just say Argentina for the first 70 to 80-ish minutes were the better team, and they thoroughly deserved it. And it looked like at halftime they were cruising to the World Cup trophy. But one penalty kick later, game on, and then literally straight from the restart makes it 2-2 in a flash, and then you're just like, okay, this whole thing's flipped on its head. Goes to extra time. Messi scores again in extra time, and you're like, all right, here we go. Argentina are going to do it this time. This second half of extra time, we were thinking it might go penalties again. And then there's a penalty for Mbappe again, and then he buries it again, and then it's 3-3, and you're just like, okay, this is nuts. No one knows where this is going, and it goes penalties, and then in penalties you're like, okay, Argentina have the edge in this one because of the absolute shithouse that is Emi Martinez in terms of penalty shootout. Mbappe, third penalty of the game, sticks it away. Messi does his bit. Then Coman and Tchouaméni step up. Coman's one save. Tchouaméni just absolutely wide of the mark, and Argentina bury the rest of their penalties. Montiel scores, and Argentina are champions of the world. Thoroughly deserved. They were my predicted winners, not on the show, because when I was hosting it, I forgot to actually mention who are our actual predicted winners, because I remember we done like a group prediction thing where we had England going all the way to the final. I know, yes, I was just feeling giddy at that point, and I wanted England to win my heart. But the team that was actually in the final with England was Argentina, and Argentina
That would have been a
were my
something,
pick.
wouldn't it?
Yeah, Argentina were my pick to win it if I was thinking logically about it rather than with my heart. And I wanted England to win, of course, like we all did. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Maybe in 2026, we'll see. But I think, yeah, I also said Messi would be Golden Boot, but Mbappe got it. And I think I said Messi would be Player of the Tournament. So, yeah, not too bad, the predictions, but sure.
Can you, when I do my bets next, just give me the scores of all the games and I'll put
I
them on.
wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to do that.
No, Abdi's contracted not to reveal these things. Sam, I mean, when we look at this World Cup final, you know, the last time these played each other, France won 4-3. I mean, it wasn't far off that.
One of the best games in the tournament as well.
You know, but France, to me, I mean, Mbappe and Messi, there wasn't much between them at the end of the day, Golden Boot wise.
Neck and neck, pretty much. But
yeah. When you're talking about Lionel Messi, though, do you think he should retire? He's won the World Cup. He's technically, it's the perfect end to the Lionel Messi story. Do you think that is it, or do you think he's got something else to achieve?
I hate to kind of compare it to club, but it makes sense. So when Arsene Wenger won the first FA Cup, he was struggling for his job. People were going, "Oh, get him out," and all sorts. And he won the FA Cup, and he could have left then on a high. And unfortunately, things happened after where he didn't do so well again. And he left on quite bad terms. If he had left on that FA Cup, it would have been very different. So for me, the answer to that one's yes. Because when you just win a World Cup, what else can he do? Unless he gets a big money move to the Premier League, he can't do anything else. So, yeah, it's time that whether he wants to carry on football, he can. He can still play club. But yeah, I think so. I don't think there's really... And just a little bit on the game as well. I think, honestly, Argentina could have scored more in their dominance, to be fair.
They could have easily been quite a few goals up.
Yeah. And then it could have been a different game. But again, you've got Mbappe on the other side, so anything can happen. But yeah, Di Maria was outstanding. Absolutely unbelievable.
As much as it pains me.
You take him out of that team, and I don't think, because he was there, apart from Messi, he was their creative output. So you take him out of that team, and I think they wouldn't have been the team they were. And yeah, I just think, looking at the France's first goal as well, I think they say it was a silly tackle, but was it? Because if he'd have gone in and scored, it would have been the same outcome anyway, because he was going to be clean through if they'd have had not made a challenge. So, yeah, in the end, it's a complete lottery for the penalties. But I think as France, you must have been completely gutted to have come back twice from being down to end up losing the game. It must have been quite hard to take that one.
I agree. Abdi, same question to you really here. Do you think Messi should retire? Do you think he's achieved everything he could have? Or do you think there is still something there for him? Because he did say he's not planning to retire. There was bits I saw he said he's not planning to do so. He wants to carry on. Do you think there's a point to it? Or do you think he should just go now that his story almost had the perfect ending?
I can see the romance and the fairy tale in him retiring after winning the World Cup, and finishing off with the one thing that has eluded him and the one thing that's pretty much sent him to the absolute stratosphere that he was already in the stratosphere, but he's somehow broken through that one and just gone into a whole new element. But yeah, he has won everything. And there really isn't anything else for him to win. He's won 10 La Liga titles, 4 Champions Leagues, 7 Ballon d'Ors, the Copa America. There was some Copa del Rey's in there, Copa del Españas as well. League.
Don't forget.
Has he won the league? I don't think he's won Ligue 1 yet.
Did he not? I'm sure they won it last season.
Yeah, they probably have then. Yeah, Liga, and then afterwards, 7 Ballon d'Ors and now the Copa America and now the World Cup. He has basically won everything. He's completed it. There is nothing left for him to actually win. I don't know if this will demotivate him. Like you can see the difference when he's playing for Argentina, the passion that he has and the drive. Like he was hounding referees. You don't really see Messi hounding referees in club football. He's won everything that he has to at a club level. This is the one thing he was after. Should he retire? He's still got a lot left in the tank, or he's got quite a bit left in the tank, and he's probably playing at a very high level right now. So probably not. I think he can still win stuff if he wants to. Maybe another Champions League. With PSG, he does have that opportunity, I guess. I don't see him in the Premier League. I don't know. I just don't see him in the Premier League. I don't know where he'd go. Maybe Man City, but then again, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, essentially, it would be perfect for him, but I still think he'll just keep going, pick up some goals along the way, maybe chase down Ronaldo's goal record, but I don't think that drives him the way it drives Ronaldo for goals and stuff.
I think I have to say the only club I see him in the Premier League is Man City, but they don't need him.
They don't, but it's one of those ones where he could just go there, get some nice money, and probably collect the Premier League trophy. Unfortunately, as sad as it's to
I
say.
imagine so. I imagine so. Now, I
But
want
they've got
to.
Haaland, so that's the issue.
Yeah,
They it wouldn't
that's
make
their
sense.
Messi pretty much.
If
I also,
Haaland wasn't there,
and yes, you
him and
could.
Alvarez together, that'd be
Mm.
lethal.
I
That'd
mean,
be
so
lethal.
we've seen glimpses of Alvarez brilliance with Messi and stuff, which moves me on to, we've discussed Argentina winning and being probably the better team, really. But I want to know from you both is one player who basically put themselves front of the shop window for this upcoming transfer market, or even the summer one, really. Which player do you think has put themselves out there in the best possible way to kind of go, look what I can do, come and get me? I'm going to start with you, Abdi.
So the person I'm going to go with Enzo Fernandez. Someone we all linked with over the summer. We looked at maybe in last January as well, and we could have got him for relatively cheap. I think it was like 16, 17 mil. And he was suggested by none other than Ralf Rangnick. And the club sacked him because they're stupid. But yeah, unfortunately, he has gone to Benfica. He was ripping up in Benfica as well. And then he's just shown on the world's biggest stage what he can do as well. And his price tag's going to probably be 70, 80 million at least. He won the young player of the tournament as well. So yeah, definitely not in January because Benfica won't sell in January. But for the summer, it's good. It's a possibility, and hopefully United do try and get him because having someone like that in midfield, cool boy, that'd be very tasty.
Okay, Sam, come to you with the same question.
I've got a couple. I have Gakpo. I think he was in demand before anyway, but I think he's kind of proved that he can score goals. So I think that's going to be a massive transfer. It was a massive transfer before. And the other two I've thought of, De Paul from Argentina. Yes, he's kind of 28, so his price may be a little bit cheaper. But I think that's another one that people will be looking at. I had one more, but it's gone completely out of my head now.
Okay, well, we'll see if it comes back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Good players there. I'm going to give you two names as well, actually. So the first one has to be from Portugal, and it has to be Gonzalo Ramos.
Yes, that's a good shout as well.
For me, he has to be one of the standout players, mainly because it's the rarity that I enjoy watching Portugal, but I did because Ronaldo wasn't playing, and he was ripping it up again. I mean, I know it was only the Swiss, but they, knocked out France in the Euros. They can't be underestimated. He was ripping it up. He's a fantastic
Benfica star.
Another Benfica star. It just shows that these clubs are good at producing stars, just can't really afford to keep them. But Gonzalo Ramos, to me, is one of the standout players of the tournament who, people have heard from, when he was at Benfica, but never really focused that much. But he put his name out there, full front of the front of house, basically, for me. My second player is actually, I kind of said good luck to Brighton. Keeping hold of this one is McAllister. I mean,
yeah,
he was already quite popular anyway before this tournament when Brighton had a very good spell at the beginning of the season. But after this tournament, I think McAllister is one of these players that I wish luck to I wish Brighton luck to keep hold of that man because he'll be in very high demand. I mean, Brighton could cash in on him, I think, but
I think he was known, wasn't he? He was known.
He was very much known, but I think
he wasn't massive as he is at the moment. Like he
didn't put a show on the world stage like he did at this World Cup, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think McAllister is going to be in high demand. I think definitely.
Probably by Chelsea.
He's one of the players.
There was a Moroccan left back as well, a 22-year-old. I can't think of his name now. That I've seen a lot of pundits talking about. I can't think of his name. And then the other one I think is Elvis Case is probably Martinez has looked pretty sharp when he's been on.
I think you
Argentina.
have to put Alvarez's name in there. I know people know him from
Mhm.
City, but a lot of people underestimated, I think, how good he actually is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hearing a lot of people kind of going, ooh, might need to bring him to my fantasy team because of what I've seen. I think Julian Alvarez is going to be another one of these players that a lot of people suddenly will put their beady eyes onto.
I also
And
think as well, I think Maguire's put a good stance of getting himself back into the Man United side as well. I think
Well,
he's
they have
got,
an opportunity for now, at least, because Varane and Martinez just played in the World Cup finals. So,
yeah.
Harry
I
Maguire's
think
he'll
back.
have a
gets himself
chance. It's what
in
he'll
the
it's what he'll
picture,
do
'cause
with
he
the
played really
opportunity
well.
he's given.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are our kind of standout players. Which team? Another question has kind of which team, thanks to this World Cup, will be a team to watch in 2026? Abdi.
2026. Probably because it's their home turf. I'm going to say USA. They have got talented players. They made it out of the group. They just need a goal scorer. They need to find. Some of these teams having issues with scoring goals and sticking in the back of the net. Simplest thing to do. You need to find a goal scorer. But will someone come along in that 4-year span who will be their talisman going forward? So USA would be someone to keep an eye on. Maybe Canada as well. They're looking good. They look good performance wise going forwards, but it's a shame that they just got picked apart. They wanted to play football, but yeah.
Sam, same question for you.
I think Netherlands looked quite good in the group stages, and they'll have Gakpo that is older and more travelled and had more minutes. So I think they'll be one to watch. Yeah, I would go with that one.
Yep, I think that's a pretty good one. USA was going to be my pick because I just think if they get a goal scorer, they could easily make it to the quarterfinals, which I think for USA who haven't done that for quite a while, if ever, I think they have before. That will be a great achievement for them. I mean, people say, "Oh, it's the home World Cup," so sure, but I just think that they did very well. I think there's many times where people underestimated how well they actually did. You know, kind of said, "Oh, the other team was rubbish," rather than saying, "No, USA actually played great football." A lot of people kind of said the other team was rubbish, and that's why USA were made to look good. But I really personally wouldn't agree with that.
No, let's take the game that we had against them, for instance. Yes, we were rubbish, but
USA
they
also
also
played
played
well.
really, really well and should have beat us. So,
and I think a lot of people don't want to say that they were playing quite well. You know, a lot of people just focus on the fact that England were crap, but realistically, we faced what on that day was a decent enough USA team who wanted to get something out of that game more than England did.
if they'd have had a striker, i.e., if Harry Kane had been on the other team, then they would have beaten us, and quite well, I think, as well.
Well, we know Harry Kane can score a field goal, don't we?
I would have loved to say England to be someone to watch, but you never know with England these
Well, we're
days.
going to
and
move on to
with the fact
talking.
that Southgate. Yeah, okay, go on.
We're going to move on. You mentioning Southgate. That's exactly what I'm going to move us on to. So the question is, and it's been debated quite a lot in our WhatsApp group, and rightly so, I think, because it's a good question to ask. It's a good question to debate. Southgate will now stay and manage England through the qualifiers and the Euro 2024 championships. My question to both of you is this. Yes or no? Should he stay or should he go? Abdi?
He should go at this point. I feel like it is time for him to go. I commend him for the job he's done in terms of actually making England a team to sort of believe in again and be happy about and try and back. But at the same time, you can't be rewarding failure. We got to World Cup semi-final against Croatia. should have beaten them, didn't. Then your home European final against Italy, should have beaten them, didn't. I know it was a penalty shootout in the end, but should have never gone to penalties. We should have beaten them in either normal time or extra time. And then we see what happened in the quarterfinal against France. Should have beat them, should have made changes earlier, should have made the right decisions, but didn't. And it all fell apart in the end. And now he wants to stay on. It doesn't make sense at this point. I feel like there's only so much time you can give a manager before you need to freshen things up and bring someone new to try and get something different out of these players. Because they're not going to be here forever. This is a top generation of players. You don't want them to pass you by like they did back in the golden generation with Gerrard, Lampard, Rooney, and Terry, Ferdinand, all them lot. So hopefully at some point the FA realise that they need to make the call to bring in somebody different. And knowing them, they'll probably just bring in someone that's not even that good either. That's probably just wants to play defensive anti-football. So yeah, I mean, I'll give a small credit to him this time. He didn't go to the 5 at the back. He tried to play a bit more forwards, but yeah.
Okay, so Abdi says go. Sam, what do we think?
I don't think there's any debate really. I think he must know himself that it's time for him to move on. The thing is, we're going to look back. I think I would go out and say we have. I don't think there's a squad in the world better than what we have in each position, because we have so much depth that I don't see in other countries. So we don't want to look at this.
I see Brazil. That's about it.
Yeah. So we don't want to look back at this and go, well, it could have been. Because we don't know if in 2 or 3 World Cups time we're going to have as much talent as we have now. So we're just wasting each time we're even considering keeping him on. We're just wasting more and more time. And every time he's okay. He's okay to play against teams that aren't going to trouble us. But out of 24 games that we've played nations in the top 10 or 15, he's won 4. 4 out of 24 is not good enough. When he came out after the game and he kind of said, "Oh, I'm thinking about the future," I was thinking, well, he's going to sit down and think, well, I can't do this anymore. I can't take this any further. And that's what he should have done. But I don't think we can take it away from how much he's done for England as a country, because we'd lost all hope in the England team before he came in. So we've actually now excited about watching international football again. So you've got to commend him for that. But surely he's got to know, if he wants the best for this country, he's got to know that he can't do that, can't take them that little bit further.
I agree. I'm actually going to agree with that, because to me, I've said this to a few people, it's not that Gareth Southgate's been a bad manager for England, because he hasn't. He's been very good, I think. I think he's definitely not been a failure. I think the one thing he has done, I think, that he has to get credit for, is he transformed the England team. I mean, we all know what we were like under Hodgson. I mean, we were a laughingstock. We all know what we were like under Capello. I think what Gareth Southgate has done is transformed England into a very different team, not only on the pitch, but also in the England camp. When journalists go there, England players act like a family. They act like a united family, it seems. So to me, what Gareth Southgate has achieved is transforming this England team into something very different. And I think, okay, it's not something that won us trophies, no, but it's something that has moved England onto being a different type of team. And I think that almost is an equally big achievement because of where England were before Southgate took over. So I think in a strange way, he's achieved actually quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In my
But nothing at the same time.
but nothing at
Yeah.
the same time. We've not won
We-
anything, but we've transformed as a team under him.
But
Yeah,
like,
we have. But the thing is with that is we keep managers on a bit too long after their natural conclusion. Hodgson, we kept him on a bit too long. After the World Cup, should have been gone, and then took us to the Euros as well. And yeah, we see what
I
happened
think
there as
with
well.
Southgate, it's the fact he can't really take England any further. In my opinion, he's taken England up a step, and
Mhm.
Yeah,
he's done what he had to do. But now we need someone else to take that further.
to
He's-
finish it off.
He
he
repaired the
started
ship
that-
and made it a very good ship.
Yeah, he started that process. He's put the building blocks in place,
But he needs
And-
someone else to take it now.
and
I
it
think
makes
he's done what he could.
it makes the next manager's job fairly easy because he hasn't got to get this unity. He hasn't got to get this togetherness. It's there. So all that manager has to do is win games.
The problem now, though, if Southgate stays, all of the things he's improved within England, if now his form then drops as an England manager, all that will be now forgotten. It's a case where it's another case where a lot of these managers don't know when to go.
But also, not only that, you've got a couple of names that you could throw into the mix at the minute that could be potential.
Well, we'll go to that in a second, actually.
In a couple of years' time, when he's stayed to 2024, however that pans out, those managers might not be there anymore.
Well,
so you
exactly.
might be with a bad list of managers.
Well, this is it. So we seem fairly united on on the fact that Southgate should go. But then we'll focus and close this out. If not Southgate, if Southgate was to go, who would you have as England manager? And I'm going to ask you for one name only here, each. Who would you have as England manager instead of Southgate right now, Abdi?
I don't really have a name, but I will say, I will say the next England manager probably should be someone who's a winner. So maybe someone who isn't in job right now, maybe someone like Thomas Tuchel. I know people say, "Oh, he's not English, he's German, and all this and that," but stop being stupid. The England manager doesn't have to be English, you know. Look at the Lionesses. Sarina Wiegman. Is she English? No.
Well, look at how many English managers the England Lionesses had before Sarina Wiegman came and did what she did.
Exactly. You need that different mentality. You know, you need somebody who's not institutionalized. Sure, they're not. It's everyone's dream to win it with their nation and have everything English or whatever. But come on, man. It's 2022. Well, you can spread out and find somebody else. We don't really have winners. What Premier League? No one can name an English manager who's won the Premier League because they haven't. You know, it's all been literally Scottish, Italian, German, Spanish, Portuguese, you name it. French. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. You wouldn't find an English manager on that list.
So, kind of, I think I've got a feeling the only solid name I heard from you is Thomas Tuchel. So I'm going to assign that to you.
With him. He's a cup specialist winner. The amount of things he's done with Chelsea in terms of taking them into finals and stuff, and
he won the Champions League with Chelsea when they were.
The Champions League was the only one, but the other ones lost the FA Cup final to both Liverpool and Leicester. Yeah, I'm sorry to remind you about that one.
Sam,
a name from you. Who would you have as England manager?
Just to follow on the point of him being English or not, you look at the Premier League managers now that are managing all the clubs. 90% of those are foreign managers. So you've got to go with the trend that's happening in the best football league in the world, surely. But for me, I'm thinking of managers that are realistic and available. And Pochettino is one that stands out to me. Not a winner in the Premier League.
Arsenal fans suggesting a Spurs manager to take England. That is quite a claim.
Oh yeah, no,
Wait,
I
who did you say?
Pochettino.
Pochettino. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's right.
because I don't think I think Tottenham letting go too soon.
Uh,
Yes, you're managing Tottenham, so you're at a
I
disadvantage already.
don't know. I
at the
think if
same time,
anything,
he's not a winner. I don't
No,
think
that's
he's a
what I was
winner.
about
personally,
to say. He's
for
not.
me, Pochettino. I mean, it's a bit going off on a tangent. Pochettino should have left after that Champions League final.
Mhm.
That's when he should have left.
I had
Um,
ludicrous claim on Talk Sport about who should be the next manager.
Oh, dear.
But it's horrendously bad.
I mean, it's Talk Sport. Come on, sure. Well, if they didn't say Steve Bruce, did they?
No, it's
That
worse
can't
than
be
that.
that bad.
They,
How
they
can
said they said Mourinho.
Nah, I don't think that's that bad.
I don't think it's bad as Steve. I mean, Brendan Rodgers was bounced around, which
Yeah,
I get where they're coming
that's what
from.
I'm really not convinced about.
I'd rather take Jose over flipping
Yeah, I
Steve
would too,
Bruce, hands
actually.
down.
I guess,
Jose's a winner. Jose's a winner.
yeah,
He's
that's
won
what
everywhere he's gone except for Spurs.
I said.
Come on.
So the other one that's less realistic, I think, and he's not going to leave Newcastle's Eddie Howe. If we're going to do
There's no point in doing that one.
that's not going to happen now.
I think I can only think of 3 English managers in the Premier League currently. If I'm missing any, correct me if I'm wrong.
See if you
Potter,
missed them.
Howe, Nathan Jones.
Mhm.
Nathan.
Nathan
Nathan.
Jones?
Who am I thinking of?
Who you?
Nathan
The
Jones?
Southampton manager.
Yeah, Nathan
What's his name?
Jones. You'd have
Yeah.
him as England manager?
No. I'm just saying
No,
the 3.
English
There's only
manager.
3 currently. And
I'd
Bournemouth
quicker have
manager
Lampard
Gary
over
O'Neill.
Nathan Jones.
Oh, and then Lampard.
that
Sorry,
3.
that's 5. That's 5.
Hang on, Potter, Howe, Jones, Lampard. Who's the 5th?
Gary O'Neill, Bournemouth. Is he English?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Thomas Tuchel as well. Actually, I'm gonna go with Abdi on this
Tommy
one.
Tickle.
Tommy Tuchel as an England manager would be fantastic. I agree. Let's get off the whole England manager has to be English bandwagon because it doesn't have to be. It's never had to be. I mean, we've had 2 English managers. Before that, it was Fabio Capello. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. He doesn't exactly sound English to me. So, in my opinion, I think having Thomas Tuchel as an England manager, yeah, sure, I know some people will probably kick off about it, but why not? Why not give it a try?
Thing is, though, has a foreign manager ever won a World Cup with a nation that isn't his own? Because usually the World Cup winning managers are of the same nation, of their nation.
That is true. That is true. But every cycle.
We just
has
don't
a
have a
break.
coach at the moment. I don't know.
What'd you say?
We'll see. We just don't have an up and coming coach at the moment, and then the 2 are already in jobs that are more promising than
will they
England.
be in jobs
to be fair,
in a few years down the line, and we just never know. But
Mhm.
it's
We'll
an
see.
interesting one.
There's not many names that are available at the minute. If I'm honest, there's not many out there that are going to be better than what we've got, unfortunately.
And I think that's why they wanted to keep Southgate so much as well. Plus, they like him, and he's a friendly guy, and he's a nice guy, and that's
they'll say
what the FA like. They don't like
he's
anyone
FA's
who's problematic.
darling.
Yeah, he'll say yes to everything they say. And
He's FA's yes man, unfortunately. But
pretty much.
Yep. Southgate has done everything he could, but well, he's going to take England through the qualifiers and potentially the Euros. So we'll be hearing plenty more from Mr. Waistcoat Man and see what else he brings. But there we go. That was the World Cup. Argentina, world champions.
Lisandro Martinez, I had to get it in. Lisandro Martinez is a world champion, bringing the World Cup back to Manchester. Let's go.
Argentina won it for the first time since 1986.
Yep. Third star on that shirt.
With a consecutive title. That's a curse. No one's. Has anyone broken that? Has anyone won consecutive World Cup titles? No one's done it.
Brazil, the last team, I'm thinking. I think it was like Brazil, Italy, one of the 2.
Just quickly before we close out, I just wanted to notice everyone that's commented. Matt's commented.
I was going to say you've not mentioned comments at all, so I didn't think we had any.
Matt's commented, Jade's commented, and Carlos result.
Hang on. So what's Matt saying then?
Matt said started off with hello, and then making me itch, Abdi. That was right at the start of the show. I've got
Presume
no
that's
idea.
Croatia.
Then Jade said evening.
Evening.
So next World Cup is next year in the Land Down Under from Matt.
That is the women's, yes.
Carlos backing us up and blowing our trumpet, saying, "This show, guys, wow."
Oh, cheers, Carlos. Nice to have you back.
Cheers.
No surprise, Argentina.
No.
Well, get ready for the next one. It's going to be here. I can't wait. Probably will attend. Carlos, Matt, I think Messi is over, honestly. What more can he accomplish in his career, like we said?
Well, like we said, the only thing he can is Premier League, but that's not going to happen at this rate.
The comment when we
I
said...
mean, he's won 10 league titles in Spain. It doesn't... I don't think the Premier League is that important for him.
The comment where we said the team to watch for the next competition, Carlos, but definitely not Iran. Wonderful pun there.
Damn.
So all the project managers are in the middle of project. Sean Dyche is the only one available for Matt.
Daichi.
Jones is Welsh, so that takes off one of the Premier League managers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Matt alluding to that we've got to beat Italy in the qualifiers, which under Southgate won't happen.
I don't know about that. I mean, Italians have not exactly been great since they won the Euros. So, we lost.
They're only cursed in the World Cup, mate. They're only cursed in the World Cup.
Plus, also, they've not. We lost them in the Nations League. I mean, no, we didn't really care about the Nations League, so I don't know.
When we mentioned Southgate out, we didn't mention that he actually got relegated as well. So
yeah, but it's the Nations League. No one realistically cares about it. That's the problem. He got relegated us from a competition that England at the time couldn't give a stuff about because the players were knackered.
Very much.
Unfortunately. To me, the Nations League was just something that was in the way at the time. And I'm not personally surprised that England did better in the World Cup than they did in the Nations League because they cared more about it.
I do have something to say, but I'll let you finish the comments quickly.
That's the end of the comments. So
okay, I just want to
really quickly. But then we have a worse chance to qualify for the next tournament. Imagine if we had drawn France. Go on.
We'd slap them. I was going to say, FIFA had announced the president Gianni Infantino has announced the intention to have reformat the Club World Cup and start it in 2025 as a 32 club tournament in the summer. What do you guys think about that? I don't know too much about it yet, but that's all I can gather.
That's an interesting one because obviously it'd be in between the international tournaments. My only concern is the players are knackered enough. Do we need another competition?
I mean, if you use it as the preseason and just go, so those teams go in, and then afterwards they use it as a preseason. And then if they get knocked out, they can just set up some other games. I don't know, as backups.
Yeah, it's one option
with other teams that get knocked out. I guess I don't know, and just continue.
I mean, I'd like to see the Club World Cup reformed so people actually give a damn about it. Because at the moment, it's a competition that's there, but
at the same time, if you win it, you do care because it's like the champions of the world.
Well, yeah, when we won it against Palmeiras, he was brilliant. But other than that, not many people actually give a stuff about it. So if it actually makes it more relevant of a competition, then maybe why not? I mean, Sam, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one, really. Thing is, I can't really get excited if it's going to carry on the way it is. I can't really get excited for anything that's coming up.
Well, for me, I think the World Cup needs to be made more
Oh,
relevant.
the question was the Club World Cup, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. So yeah,
the next
Have it in the
format's gonna
summer.
be rubbish.
I said
No,
the
for
word,
the main World Cup. But
I
yeah.
heard
Yeah.
the word summer, so that to me is much better than winter. But apart from that, I think this is a good number of teams this year, to be honest.
Hang on, we're talking the Club World Cup still.
The what?
Abdi, we're talking the Club World Cup,
The
correct?
Club World Cup, yes.
Yeah, the Club World
Football.
Cup. We're not talking the internationals. Talking the Club World Cup to be revived as a 32 club competition in the summer in 2025.
Oh no,
What-
then because that means we'll end up with more injuries and it'll end up halting the Premier League season and making that worse. So no.
It wouldn't be in the Premier League season. It'd be
It'd be in the summer. I mean, injuries could still be a risk, but that could happen in
Yeah.
friendlies.
yeah.
That can
it
happen in
could.
preseason friendlies, as we've seen.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing. How do you get people excited for that? Because it won't have the history or prestige of an actual World
It will
Cup,
take a
and
while
then
for
the
it will take a
Champions
while.
League as well.
It will take
I
a
was
while
about
for
to
it
say,
to gain
like-
get the historical momentum. It will take a while for that to happen. It will take a few of these editions of this revived Club World Cup for it to gain some momentum and some value.
Yeah, and I wonder what the qualifications would be in terms of who would qualify, who would be in it. You'd
Mhm.
like to think it'd be teams spread out from all over the world because it wouldn't just be the usual standard teams in there from like Champions League or something.
And you've got then the clubs. Will the clubs want to play their players that have played all season and not allow them to have a rest between the end of the next one? So before the start of the next one, sorry. So you might have weakened teams anyway.
Unless they do it during preseason, so they try and get the fitness up. But then again, they'd want to get as many people playing if it was like preseason for them. So I don't know. We'll see. It's 3 years, not even
It's
3
an
years.
interesting one. It's a
2.5.
while away, but it's an interesting one to keep in mind to see how that develops. Obviously, with the new Champions League format coming in 2024 as well.
Yeah, we do need to talk about that still.
With that, still needs to be. We still need a show on this one, I think, and it will happen. It will happen at some stage. We'll have to do it. But for now, we're going to close up for Christmas. So yes, this has been our last
And the
show
new
before,
year.
and the new year. We will be back in January. Dates will be confirmed nearer the time. There'll be a few changes going on in the channel with the channel, so we will keep you posted on our social media pages. But we will be going off for the few weeks. So before we close up, the usual still applies. Abdi, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Twitter machine at aabdullahi26 at AABDULLAHI26.
Sam, he's where the eye is. Where can they find you?
Sam Wilson AFC with the 1 in the place of the I in Wilson.
One's where the eye is. You can find me if you really want to on at Subsonics UK. That's SUBSONIX UK. And you can find us, of course, at Golden Goal TV. We've got the Facebook group. Come and join, talk, discuss, predict, do whatever else we do. We even do some live videos on occasion. We also have a WhatsApp group, so you can join us there if you want to be added. Drop us a message. We will consider it. And of course, you've got the channel, which will be back in January in 2023. So like, comment, share, and subscribe in preparation for it. And all that's left for us to do is wish you a lovely Christmas.
Follow us on Golden Goal TV on Twitter. Yeah.
Yep. Give us a follow. We've got plenty of time. We've got a few weeks to do it. Hope you all have a lovely Christmas. Hope you all have a happy New Year and spend it with your friends and family and enjoy the Carabao Cup. Enjoy the Boxing Day fixtures. Enjoy the football if you can. You won't be able to travel because train strikes, but nothing like that. Enjoy the Christmas. Enjoy the New Year. Hope everyone gets a well-deserved break. Try to avoid having a cold. Everyone's getting one. It's fashionable.
Yeah, please try and avoid it. And don't throw it onto people if you have it.
Sharing is caring, but not in this case.
Yeah.
So yeah, have a lovely Christmas and a New Year, everyone, and we will see you. The Golden Goal team. We will see you in January.
Feliz Navidad, however you say Happy New Year in Spanish.
That was, yeah, actually, a good point. Not sure.